Yes. I would love for you to dive in a little bit more on this fear equals personal growth. I know that there are, people listening right now that just do not agree, do not understand, have no, nothing to compare that to. So can you touch a little bit on what that means or how that's even related?
Sure. So let's just take the example of a job, right? You have a job, you haven't been there happy in a long time. Perhaps you don't like the pay, the colleagues. The vibe is just not your vibe, and you just feel like you're going there. Why do most people go to a job they hate? Because you have the paycheck and you have the benefits, and maybe you're close to retirement. Whatever your reasons are, these are very standard reasons. You're like, man, I want to quit, but what comes into your head now? Oh, the economy is such and such. What if I can't find a job? Okay, maybe you want to do a radical jump like me and go from finance to wellness. I mean, really not very much related. And then you get the feedback of the world. Well, that doesn't make sense. Well, why don't you wait till the kids, graduate from high school or whatever your situation is? You guys, the fears that we have, first of all, know that we all have them. Would you agree with that, Sabrina? Fear is just part of it.
Yeah.
You have a choice. Do you say, okay, I agree with that fear? Or do you choose to take that fear along and go, you know what? I will do it despite the fear. I mean, it literally boils down to that. And I will tell you, it totally depends on where you are in life. Some people are more ready to do something that's uncomfortable than others. For many people, where the urgencies happen is where something big happens, right? They lose somebody. So now they're like, wow, that person just went suddenly. It gives them perspective of life. Or maybe it's a loss of a job, or maybe it's a divorce, something suddenly, or maybe they fall and break a hip and now they're in pain and agony. All these kind of things, or maybe they're diagnosed with disease, create urgency to now suddenly they're like, screw it, like I need to change something, right? For most people, a big change, uncomfortable change is very uncomfortable. And I just want to tell you guys, one, you can do it, because look at your track record. I guarantee you'll find something that you did a great job at, right? We tend to focus on the things we cannot do well. What if you focus on the things that you have done great in your life? Use that as a jumping board. And you know what? And start small. Sabrina, I'm so glad you asked for that example of how I started. It doesn't mean open $1 million facility and whatever you're doing. Yeah, just start small and consistent. And you know what? Build habits. And I'll tell you, Sabrina, for me, a huge part of my growth is daily self-care. You have to have the tools to keep you grounded and sane. Because sometimes when you go into that next discomfort level, like I'm scaling my business and there is so much new. I mean, you can get lost into the noise. And you got to keep this quiet so that you can hear this. And if you guys are listening to the audio, I'm saying you got to keep the mind quiet and you got to hear that heartbeat, because it's the heartbeat that will take you towards your wants, towards your desire. And this is the other thing, Sabrina, that I think it's very important to realize is that if you have a desire, that desire is not just randomly showing up there. It's showing up for a purpose. None of us are here to just randomly take space. We all have purpose, and you can choose to live in your purpose despite the fears. The fears will be there. Someday smaller, someday bigger. It's okay. Small steps, but forward. And you know what? It will be one step forward, one step back. 2 steps forward, one step back. Like I shared, there will be curves. There will be zigzags. There will be falling on your face.
Yeah.
The important part is you shake it up, you tape up the bruises and you say, all right, let's do this again and let's try it a little bit different.
Yeah.
And you just learn and grow. And it's an incredible journey.
Yeah. I remember there's been a few times in my journey where I literally sit and I'm like, I swear the universe is out to get me. Because like the moment that I'm finally over one challenge and I'm getting up to like breathe from underneath the water and take a breath, another wave comes and knocks me down. And I'm just like flailing around in the ocean, with all these waves. And I come up and just when I'm about to ready to take a breath, to breathe, and just get hit by another wave. And I'm just like, what is up with this? But that's part of the journey. You know,
It
there
is.
is ups, there is downs, there's thrashing around, there's turbulence.
Yep.
And that's just part of the ride. That's part of entrepreneurship. And I think that if you're not feeling that, then you're kind of doing it wrong.
100% agree with you. That's the discomfort